Hello viewers, welcome to Instant Leadership. My name is Zuhra Mulla. Today we'll be discussing on the impact of COVID-19 on our businesses with Zainab Njoki, who's a professional leadership and performance coach, and we'll just be brainstorming around what do we do, what has happened, and what lessons can we learn from all this pandemic. So Zainab, to kick us off, um, we have seen a number of people being laid off, a number of companies actually shutting down simply because the profits are not forthcoming. So having all this pandemic with us, what are some of the impacts has it had on businesses?
A very good question, because we are all experiencing COVID differently based on the industries that we are operating in. And of course, we need to look at the impact on the positive and at the same time the negative. And starting with the positive part, of course, number one, we have been able to have a more expanded perspective as far as the market is concerned. We have a global mindset now, and we are aware that it is possible for us to even connect with customers from all over. We can be able to interact and do business globally. That is a plus. That is a milestone, I can say, because just the other day, we did not even imagine that we can embrace innovation to the extent or to the level that we are today. So as a result of now embracing innovation and at the same time having that global mindset, then number two, the performance have really increased, because we are not spending a lot of time making a lot of movements. For other organizations, they're still working remotely, which is something good. Because again, when you have your family every now and then, like for my case, I've spent a lot, actually throughout my lifetime, I've been moving from home early in the morning and coming back home late in the evening. So this is a new life for me, where I can be able to interact with my family from morning to evening. And at the same time, I'm working. So now, because we are not spending a lot of time on traffic jam, and at the same time making a lot of movement, then it shows, or it means the productivity has gone up. Looking at the other side of the negative, we need to acknowledge that we have lost some of our loved ones in the workplace, which is affecting us in one way or the other. And of course, we have a lot of fear and anxiety. And what does this mean for leaders? We need to invest more on the wellness so that we can be able to be mindful of the other person, because life is not the same again, and it is not going to be the same. So the aspect of understanding how important it is for us as leaders to look at what is this that we can do better, so that we can become an ecosystem and we can be able even to embrace our loved ones who are at home, our family members, and at the same time understand that our personal life is more important and very important as much as even we're talking about working. Yeah,
it is very true. COVID has given some people enough time to have with the family. Great. So counting 1 year plus since the emergence of COVID-19, we have learned some lessons, but moving on forward, since COVID is still with us, what are these key lessons that we need to keep learning and improving on to forge forward?
Zuhra, and also our viewers, you will agree with me that we have embraced the culture of resilience more than any other time. And resilience is basically our ability to bounce back, our ability to thrive irrespective of the hardships that we are going through or even the challenges. And for us to be resilient, for businesses to be resilient, leaders need to clarify the vision or the purpose of the organization. What exactly is expected of this team? If that one is, if we shed more light on that, then we become more resilient. And at the same time, why did we start this business? What is really expected of us? And what difference do we want to make for our customers out there as we are serving them? So once we are able to answer those questions, then we become more and more resilient. And at the same time, we have learned that communication is key, and our presence as leaders in the workplace is critical.
Very critical.
Very critical. All the time. If they know that you are there for them, and you are there to listen to their concerns, to their fears, and even to celebrate their achievement with them, then that is quite important. So I think we have learned, and we are continuing to learn, because we are not yet there. Yeah.
And we keep learning every day.
Exactly.
Great. Viewer, I hope we have learned something or two. What does the future of your business look like? What are you putting into place to ensure that you don't end up closing your business? Or as an entrepreneur, what are some of the measures that you are taking to ensure you are bettering your service delivery to your customers? We are going to answer this after our short break. Welcome back, viewers. As we continue our discussion on the impact of COVID-19, we have shared on the lessons we can pick from the whole pandemic situation. And in this session, we'll be looking at what is the way forward. What are those things that we need to embrace to ensure that this pandemic situation acts as an opportunity for our businesses?
The first thing that I have in mind is empathy. As leaders, we'll be required more to lead with our hearts more than our mind. Integrate the body, the mind, and at the same time, the heart. Becoming more and more mindful of what is happening around and how the future is going to look like. As we had said earlier, the need of being present, and at the same time showing that we are interested in their well-being, and we are curious. We are going to the workplace or even to the leadership positions with that curious mind and openness also to understand what our employees are going through and the needs of our customers.
Exactly.
At the same time, we need a lot of flexibility will be required. Of course, our employees have proved that they can be able to work with less supervision, that they can be able even to show that they are interested in, they are actually stakeholders when it comes to now operating the business. So trust in organizations is critical, and this is what we need to see more of. And innovation is going to be key. No turning back. Actually just have to move forward, embracing innovation, being present online, and at the same time understanding what is this that needs to be done. Looking at making the future, looking at the future from where we are by becoming more idealistic and adding to the skills that we already have.
Yeah, and this calls for the leaders and the managers in these positions to ensure they also invest in the knowledge, or rather the skill set of the employees, so that these employees, they can be able to adapt and be flexible to the changes.
Exactly.
It has been an informative session. We are glad to have this discussion, and should you have any inquiries, feel free to reach out to us in our comment section, and we'll be glad to respond to them. See you next week with another amazing discussion.